I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I feel really lost and lonely. But I am getting there, slowly. I've spent the last few weeks trying to feel myself again, taking things slowly, resting, doing the things I know will make me feel my better self. This is an attempt, I suppose, to be more honest. I think it could be really nice to know that you aren't alone. Many people struggle. I'm struggling, and if you are too, it's okay. You aren't behind or failing in any way. Feelings are so fleeting. Things pass. Our well-being can't be rushed. Take things day by day. I guess this is me trying to be more vulnerable. There's a lot of power in it. Hello, it's Jeta, and gosh, it's been a while since I've spoken to my phone. I have not posted as frequently since moving to uni, and even the stuff that I did post, I watch back and I don't feel like I'm watching myself. In all honesty, I feel, I've been feeling very lost, and I think it's a large reason of why I really have been struggling to film anything or post anything, because every time that I do film and I'm editing the clips, I'm just watching it back and thinking, this is not me. And the second thing is that I just feel like the stuff that I'm creating, I don't believe in it anymore. I don't feel like it has any purpose, and so I've no inspiration or motivation to post. I filmed a version of this video about 3 times. I've written so many scripts as to what to say. I've edited a full video at some point, like full video, ready to post, but just didn't, of me trying to explain why I haven't been on YouTube, how I've been feeling, how uni's been going, and kind of trying to get back on here, but it's really hard. And every time I do it, I chicken out. I'm like, no, I'm being dramatic, or like, it's just not, right, or whatever. But if I keep doing that, it's never going to be right, and it's never going to get up there. To kind of reassure you, I'm not leaving YouTube. I think even though at times I feel a bit tired of doing YouTube stuff, and I've definitely felt that I don't really know what kind of content I'm even creating anymore, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to post anymore. Like, I'm not leaving YouTube. That's not what's happening. I just need to redirect and rethink the kind of content that I'm putting out there. Sorry, I've just had to readjust the angle, but I started YouTube when I was 15, doing my GCSEs in lockdown, and just wanting to share my love for learning and education and try to motivate and inspire people to keep working, even though it was pretty hard in that period of time. And that morphed into me giving advice, so whether it was for how to revise for certain subjects or how to apply to UCAS and all these different things. I no longer feel like I can give advice that is valuable. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, every single university is so different and every subject is so different. So me giving my advice on like how to prepare for a uni exam or coursework and things like this when I'm doing psychology at Bath and most people are not going to be doing psychology at Bath, it's just feels a bit pointless. I am not even using the techniques that I used at A-level and GCSEs anymore. Like, uni is so different and I am still learning. That's the second reason why I don't want to give advice. I don't know how to do uni. I'm still figuring it out. Like, my grades are not perfect here, which I found difficult to deal with at first because, you know, I was used to kind of getting A's and A stars quite consistently at school and then coming to uni, and you know what? I've only gotten a first like twice, I think, whilst being here, like in all my courseworks and exams. Most of the times I'm hitting a low 2-1, and I've gotten two 2s as well. And yeah, sometimes that's kind of hard to take because whilst objectively a 2-1 is great and a 2-2 isn't that bad, at first it really kind of was like it hit me a lot and it made me feel kind of like maybe I'm not smart enough to be here kind of thing, which is understandable. And I think a lot of people have that kind of I guess almost like imposter syndrome, but I've gotten a lot better at dealing with that, and I'm at a stage now where, you know, I recognise that I find uni difficult. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But, you know, some people here get the hang of it so much quickly than I do, and that's totally fine. I'm working at my own pace. I'm working at my own level, and I'm still doing okay. But anyway, I'm going on so many rants and I need to just stick to what I'm trying to say, which is that I don't know what I'm doing here a lot of the time. I've been feeling quite lost, not only with who I am, which I touched on earlier, but also just like what I'm doing. I don't enjoy this degree as much as I thought I would. And I think that's partly because it's just first year and we're still doing very kind of foundation level stuff because not everyone did psychology A-level, so they're trying to like level the field. And second year we have some options for modules, so again, I think, you know, I actually spoke to my personal tutor who really was an amazing help, but just kind of said to me like, you know, first year, most people don't enjoy first year, you know. We don't have any options in first year, and I think, you know, looking at some of the modules for next year, they look more interesting, they look more cohesive, and you have some options, so I know that I will enjoy it more. I do like psychology, but I think being at uni has kind of made me forget why I like psychology, because it's just felt all about like coursework, exam, do well, don't do well, panic, stress, and at the same time trying to get used to everything here. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the fact that I have felt very lonely at university, which I've heard some people open up about, but like I don't think it's really something that I expected would happen. Obviously when you first move to uni, like people, you know, talk about homesickness and stuff like that, but everyone's kind of like, oh, once you find your friends, like once you find your people, like uni's the best time ever. I really feel like I haven't found my people. I've found some, like very few people that I feel like I do really, you know, appreciate, and I'm so glad that I've met. But for the most part, I don't feel like I've found many people here that are my kind of people. And over some reflection, I have realised that it's partly because Bath is a STEM-based uni. Most of the degrees here are like sciences, sports, like finance and economics and stuff, obviously psychology, but psychology is kind of a science. You have politics and sociology, but that's as humanities as it gets. Like, that's it. They don't do English here, they don't do history, nothing like that. And I feel like people who do science are more logical and, you know, obviously have a creative side, but I need creative people. I've realised that a lot of the times people that I've really connected with have been people who are more interested in English and art and music and things like this. And whilst I picked psychology, obviously, my passion in life is literature and writing and things that are much more creative. That isn't to say that I don't enjoy science and all of the beauties that come along with that, because I do, but again, that's not my sort of innate passion. And so I feel like that's why I haven't been able to find as many people who I connect with on that level. I felt very, very isolated and very alone for a time, and I still do sometimes. I feel like loneliness kind of comes in waves, but going back home for Easter was the best thing that I could have done for myself. When I went home, I really was a mess. That was one of the lowest points of my life. I had this chest infection basically the whole of semester 2. Went home, finally had some antibiotics, but like I was really ill still, and I was physically exhausted. I was emotionally like shattered, and I just collapsed when I went home. But my family was really helpful and kind of like just getting me out the house every day, and we kind of did something every day in London, which meant that I didn't just kind of like fall into a sad, lonely pit in my bed every day, but made sure that I actually went out. And I kind of, through doing that, feel like I really connected to myself again, because it's really easy to get a little bit swept up with everything at uni, and I just really forgotten things about myself that I really value. I kind of stopped doing yoga, which moving my body in that way is something that I know that helps me. I stopped like looking after myself in the ways that I used to do that really helped me. Like, I didn't feel connected to nature anymore, even though I'm surrounded by nature so much, but like that wonder and creativity and just like appreciation for life was just not there anymore. And then I ended up having to come back a week before Easter ended to Bath for some interview stuff that I applied to and whatever. So I was alone in the flat for a week here, and like at uni, in the beginning, I felt so lonely because like I was actually alone. But with time, that was the best thing that I'd done for myself, because I literally went on forest walks every day. I played music whilst I cooked for myself, and like it was so needed. I feel more like the person that I was before. It's been like 7 months since I've moved out of home, so like obviously I've changed, but I feel a lot more connected to me. I don't feel like a shell of a person anymore, just like how I felt before. And I'm not fully there yet. Like, I'm not emotionally or physically actually fully better yet, but I'm getting there. And I wanted to talk about that on here and just be honest, and because I feel like I not only felt so disconnected from myself, but like everyone, including my family and my friends, and obviously YouTube, because I just stopped posting on there, and it makes me kind of sad because there are some of you on here who have honestly just been here since I was like like 15, 16 and are the loveliest people, the loveliest community, and I don't want to lose that. Like, I really value this community. But yeah, actually, something I wanted to mention is that I really want to thank Jeta Jade on YouTube, who you probably know. She's amazing, but her recent videos where she's just really opened up about going through something in her life and feeling lonely and all of this stuff has really inspired me to be more honest online and actually, like, Jeta, you've got to share some of this stuff. Like, everyone goes through this stuff, it's not just you, and if people see that you're also going through it, they might feel better about it too. But also just her talking about kind of connecting with her inner child and doing the things that she knows will make herself feel better. But also there's this one thing she said that has stuck with me of all emotions want to do is be felt and be expressed. Like, feelings just want to exist, and I love that. And I've really just let myself feel everything. Not like let myself completely sink into it, because otherwise, well, I did do that and that was not good, but you know, I cry like every day and that's okay. Like, you know, whilst, yeah, it's probably a sign that like I'm not doing the best, at the same time, like, I know that I'm not in the best mental headspace, but like, feeling like this is just temporary, and I just have to keep reminding myself that things are so temporary and you just have to feel it and kind of almost just ride the wave. I feel like the good things in life tend to come in waves, and the bad things also come in waves, and so it's really easy when you're in either peak to forget that the other exists, but it does. And yeah, I've just basically been really trying to do things that make me feel my best self and make me feel as me as possible. So I have tried to do some yoga when I can and when I feel like it. I've been like making tea for myself. I've got a matcha like green tea thing, and I made myself some grapes with banana and kefir. I've been going on forest walks basically every day, listening to the Amadini soundtrack and just walking in the woods and connecting with nature, even if that means, you know, have I sometimes talked to the trees? Yes. Is that kind of embarrassing? Maybe, but like, just being more present and here with the world. I've been writing when I can and when I feel like it. Someone very dear to me bought me dipping pens and sealing wax for my birthday, which they are so cool. I'll show you, but that's one of the dipping pens, and there's loads of different like nibs. There's this really beautiful feather one in the ink pot, and I've been using this and I feel very magical. And I think that's actually the key word of what I've been trying to do, is bring magic back into my life, because the world can be a very magical place, but it can also be a very cruel and awful place, and there are some horrendous things happening in the world, but equally there are some beautiful things that happen in the world, and I'm trying to feel the good stuff as much as I can, so that when the harder stuff kind of comes along, I'm more balanced. Everyone has kind of come back to the flat now, and uni's starting tomorrow again. I've got 3 weeks of lectures and then I'm done with uni for this year, which is crazy, but I'm going to try my best the last like 4 weeks left to like stay with myself. I suppose I just want to keep like this little tiny grasp I have right now on who I want to be and who I know that I am, and just keep that alive these last few weeks, because I feel like uni just, I don't know what it is, I just get swept away and I just lose myself completely here, or I have done at least, and I don't want that to happen again. And I'm going to try to surround myself with the people that make me feel good. You know, I have met a handful of people here who are incredible people, and I still have some really close family and friends back home who are only a FaceTime away. So everything's, you know, I think it will be fine. I don't really have an answer to much right now, including what I'm doing with YouTube. I'm just going to take the pressure off myself, and I'm going to create what I want to create and what I feel like creating. And I hope that that resonates with you, and I hope that you still enjoy that kind of content. It's not going to be drastically different, but I'm not this hyper productive, extremely efficient, education is my life kind of person anymore. I'm just not that person. But I don't think anyone can expect me to be the same person I was when I was 15, 16. Like, that's just not, you know, I'm 19. Life happens, you experience things and you mature and you grow up. And I'm sure that in a few years' time I'll watch this back and think, oh my gosh, like, she was such a baby. But I feel like right now I, you know, will still make uni content, whatever that means. That's my life right now. But I do want to create more creative videos. Like, I want to do stuff where it focuses a little bit more on nature and writing and feeling deeply. Yeah. Sigh of relief. Let's see if this one makes it to YouTube.